Hi, my gardening friends. I'm Lark, and I'm in Wisconsin, Zone 5. And welcome to my Tea Time Tuesday. Grab a cup of tea or coffee or beverage of choice, sit back, and let's walk my garden. We've been hot here in Wisconsin, Zone 5. Hot and humid. This is someone else's garden. Isn't that okra flower gorgeous? They're growing in raised beds here. Very nice raised beds. I'll give you a shot of some of the other people's gardens. Isn't this nice? We can do this in senior living. So I've had many successes and a few failures, and some things I just want to do differently next year. I'm finding it hard growing in a close area, trying to get as much food as I can in a small area. I'm having trouble with my cucumbers. These are planted directly in their ground. Now, the ground was clay-like, clay and stone. And I did amend it, and I did put in organic fertilizer. But what I'm having trouble with is this. You see how little the cucumber is? And chubby? Blown up like? And it is getting a fungus. You can see some on the leaves here. I'm hoping it corrects itself. I have been taking off the lower leaves or whatever fungus really looks bad, and I'm hoping it does correct itself. Enough to give Dave and I, and I'd like enough to share too. But I'm doing the best I can. The panel is working out good. I think this one is concrete reinforcement, this metal that they were using over where they're expanding and adding on to our facility. They were laying concrete and had a few mesh pieces left over. But that's working out good. It's just I gotta get that ground right. And I'm guessing that the water running off this red granite might not be the best either. But I can keep amending the soil, and I will. Compost, compost, and compost. I'm using the chain link fence. And again, that is the same ground that's over by the cucumbers, so I have to keep amending it. Now the beans seem to do okay because they are nitrogen fixing. I think that's the reason. So I don't even have to fertilize those. But the beans are a nice size, easy to pick. The cosmos are doing great. I use them for cut flowers. And plus they just look pretty. So the beans are doing really good. There's a few tomatoes here that reseeded, and I'm letting them grow, and I'm weaving them into this fence with the beans. I just keep weaving them back and forth. And whatever I get is a extra plus I didn't plan on. So let's go around. Now the hoop house was meant to keep the cabbage moth off my broccoli and kale. But first of all, I planted way too many in here. I had 7 plants in this 4x4 area. Nope, that's not happening again. So I'm having slug problems because it's moist in here. It was hot and humid, and I'm laying slug bait. But I think what the problem is too is earwigs. And I tried in years past the beer method in a shallow tray and trying to catch earwigs, and it's really a pain. It's really bothersome. So I just harvest what I can and hope it corrects itself. I am getting some leaves yet. Enough for Dave. Well, Dave eat some if I put it in a salad, but I eat cooked greens a lot, daily. And the broccoli is throwing off new shoots down here, but it's getting eaten as fast as they're coming out. So we'll see what happens. I do keep it covered though. I have it open just for now. So next year, less plants, probably only 3. The dill did good, but there's nothing to pickle. But I like dill just in my salads. I will pick these heads. I will pick the leaves of the dill, and it all goes in salads. The garlic was here and pulled it. Planted beet seeds and spinach and radishes. Those are just like, I think they were called egg something radish. And then some cilantro, and this is a vegetable amaranth that reseeded itself from last year. I'll let it grow. Now, here I'm finding that maybe all the spinach isn't coming up. It was too hot, so I'm going to replant in the spots that I don't have spinach, because of course it isn't too late. Basil's doing great. Parsley, chives. I'm going to take off chives. It just grows too fast. My scarlet runner beans. This side, not so good. And I had trellised in hopes that it would look pretty and all red flowers. This side is a little better. I wasn't leaving the flowers develop seeds because I thought if I don't let it grow beans, then what will happen is I'll have more flowers. But I am letting it have some beans too. I'm getting sick of pruning the flowers off, and it's not real full. So next year I might do the hyacinth bean vine. That's pretty too. At least the pods are purple with the hyacinth bean vine. So beans are behind this row cover. Why, you ask, do I have a row cover here? It was to keep the bunnies from eating the bean seeds, because the bean seeds were planted on this side of the fence. So the outside, where the bunnies really are, couldn't eat my beans. Well, they got through the fence, so I had to cover them, and now I'm getting some green beans. And again, enough to feed Dave and my mom and some people on our third floor. So not a complete waste, not at all. And I have fun down here. Radishes, this is the daikon. I thought they took the heat, but apparently not, because they are bolting. A lot of them are bolting. So what I've been doing is cutting the radish off, or breaking it off, in hopes that it puts more energy to the root and I get a radish. And then I've been eating this as the bigger leaves as a cooked green, and then the smaller leaves and the flowers in my salad. Again, I planted spinach over here. Some is coming. The carrots were coming, and now I don't see them. So I don't know if the heat got to them or if I overwatered. Can you help me out? What do you think I did? And I think I will replant those also. Now, whether I have enough time to harvest, I don't know, but I'm going to be putting, before a frost hits, I'm going to be putting the hoop house over on this side right here, and I'm going to put plastic over also. So I'm going to double layer it and see if I can get it to extend and grow into, November, December. Nasturtiums, eat those daily. pulled out a lot of borage, cut it back, because we know it reseeds all over, but oh, the bees love this one. And I like this one. Pretty. So I cut it back, branches out, flowers more. Kale's doing good. Learned I didn't need to cover that. This year it's not in the hoop house, under a row cover. Carrots. Oh, well, this bed here doesn't get maybe total 8 hours of sun, but that's about it. So I've been harvesting small carrots. Probably the longest is about 6 inches so far, 6-7 inches. I take it that's not a good bug there. I think that is a squash bug. And if it wasn't a squash bug, I just squashed it. Ooh, it looks like garlic chives are getting their blossom. The blue flowers are bachelor buttons. Bunnies ate a lot of those on the outside. And then on, this is a volunteer sunflower. I have another sunflower that's volunteer by the scarlet runner bean. This side of the fence, I planted calendula. And it would do a whole lot better if it got more sun, but it doesn't, so I harvest every day, every flower. Yucky cucumber again. Getting a little bit. We'll see what happens. My squash plant. You would laugh at me. When I see a female flower come up, like right here, here's a female, and the flower opens, and I'm not sure if it was pollinated or not, and I only have one plant, I go and find a male flower, pull the stamen out of it, and put it into the female flower and self-pollinate it, just in case the bees or ants didn't get to it. So I make sure I get a zucchini. This is a gourmet orange sweet bell pepper. Almost done turning, and I do keep old onion bags on them. So hope that the chipmunk doesn't get it before I get it. They get some of my tomatoes. And I'm going to have some nice size ones here. Very nice size. Basil, excellent. I've been supplying the chef here with basil. Again, the peppers could use full sun, but they are not setting blossom during that 80 and 90 degree weather. And what blossoms were coming were dropped because of the heat. The only one that seems to take the heat good is this sweet million cherry tomato. That doesn't seem to drop blossoms. Or if it does, not as much. I have enough to share with the chipmunks on that one. This one's dropping blossoms. You see? Dried up. And it isn't because of lack of water, because I keep them watered and I have them mulched. I'll have a few big tomatoes. Bacon, lettuce, and tomato. Not so much. We'll have some. These are, if you remember me talking about Juliet. I think it's a cross between a Roma and a cherry. Very good. They dry up. I roast them. Cut them in half and take out the seeds and then roast them. the bigger tomato that I showed you over there, the 3 of them, and this one is beefsteak. And I thought they were so hardy. I didn't think they get blossom drop so easily. But I tell you, there's no tomatoes in the first 4 feet. None. And then I get a few here. So, I don't know what. I can't do anything about the weather. And I think it is the weather. If I'm wrong, please let me know what I'm doing wrong, that I'm getting blossom drop. More peppers. And they seem to be doing good. I just hope they put on some more. Because Dave and I can only eat so many peppers at one time. We'd like them to keep coming for a while. But as you know, in Zone 5, our growing season is pretty short. Hopefully we get through September without a freeze. More basil. And the squash plant. Enough to share. One plant is plenty here. And now I keep pushing it this way towards the fence so it doesn't shade the peppers and the basil. Over here across the fence are my herbs. Peppermint. Keep picking that. Mostly for tea. I add it to my tea, especially because one of my tea blends I use that are quite bitter is the dandelion and nettle combination. Dandelion root, dandelion leaf, nettle, ashwagandha, and then I add peppermint to help with the bitter flavor. And then the lavender, I've been adding that to my afternoon tea. I have a holy basil tea with lavender. The yarrow, I am going to be pulling out a little of it because it's crowding out my nettle, and I don't need that much. Behind it is the sage, common sage. And then to the right of that, common sage, I have curly dock and spearmint and some rosemary. And, yep, that's comfrey. No. Since I don't edit, I'm going to say that isn't comfrey. That is horseradish. And then over the horseradish, next to it is lemon balm that I cut back, and oregano. And behind that is plantain. Now our wild area, you can see, I told you I was going to cover my elderberry back there. And I did. I used row cover bags. They have drawstrings on them, and they're made of the same material that my row cover is. So there's some for the birds and some for me. And I've never collected elderberry, so that it's nice I have it on the property. Then as I walked back there, I found a stinging nettle patch. Oh, right back there. How nice. And it's growing really nice there. And I started a tincture this morning. So I took the nettle leaves, put them in a jar, and then covered it with vodka. Isn't that nice? It's growing so much better than the nettle here. Beautiful day here today. Overcast, 70 degrees breeze. So that's my small garden. But I feel very fortunate having it. I am very fortunate having, no doubt about it. So take care, my gardening friends. Hope you enjoyed. Bye-bye.